Day 4 of Hilma Barron's survival. Alone on a ranch, she slowly tries to nurse herself back to health. Her head still aching, the cold deadly, and her stomach, as always, is rumbling. Kia ora, Legionnaires. Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead and to our short survival series. We are here with Hilma Barron, and we have a lot of work to do today. We have a whole pig that we need to get processed, and we have a Hilma that we need to take care of. I would very much like to craft ourselves a balaclava today, as the dirty one really makes us upset, and we can actually make a wash kit now, but we shouldn't need it right away. So our focus is going to be on quick food so that we can stay nice and fed and getting this balaclava made. We're probably going to leave the pig to be processed for just a little bit. And so to start our day off, we're actually going to be going back down into the basement, as there are some things down there that we probably should have grabbed. And I am a little nervous to be stepping outside in the sunlight. Most of our activities outside have happened during the night. However, all is well so far, Hilma. So, I believe we did have some animal cooking oil down here. Let's see. Vegetable cooking oil. It's all vegetable cooking oil. That's oil that we can use in a number of different recipes, and we can also just drink it straight up raw if we really want to. Yeah, so let's go ahead, jump into our advanced inventory here. We want to make sure that we're grabbing both of those and the forest honey as well. And just jumping up the top here, we do have the agar. We're going to take the oatmeal, and we'll probably take the jars just so that we can use them for storage and all the rest. Speaking of storage, we probably want to try and put the rest of our seeds down here, although the seeds upstairs, it's fine. It's not going to be a problem. We have a still over here. And of course, we have our big old keg of beer, which we'll get to eventually. For now, we are just going to make our way back in here with what we've got. Now, all of our proper food I'm keeping just down here, and yeah, we are going to need to smash the pig or do something to it, because it will come back to life as an infected pig, and then the meat's completely bad. So maybe we do want to try and process that first. Yeah, oh well. Okay, so I think for now we are just going to go ahead and drop the oil back into here, along with the forest honey and the oatmeal too. Dropping that all into that space. We're going to keep our light on for the time being, as we need to work on this pig. Yeah, so let's get to work, Hilma, and I really hope we don't waste too much of it here. To do a full butchery, it is going to take an hour. We're going to be hungry afterwards, and let's just make sure we are too cold. Of course we are. You know what? We're going to save it for now. We're just going to smash it, and it's going to be messy. Yeah. Blood all over the counter and on the floor. But that thing isn't going to come back to life. It needs enough of a head to still animate, and, well, it's not really there anymore. No. So then, what is our next step? As many of you pointed out in the comments, I did neglect the fact that cows can produce milk. For some reason, I didn't think of milking cows in Cataclysm. I don't know why. I didn't think of that. But that is something that we are most certainly going to do. Let's turn our light off for now. We're just going to go and start to make our way down towards the barn. We're going to kind of try and just stick to the side here, just so that if we see anything, we can kind of dive behind cover before too long. And into here we go. And we can see a cow. Wonderful. Magnificent. Go ahead and close it up there. Right, so what we need is the fodder to actually feed the cows, and there is some up here, so we'll go ahead and grab that. And don't worry, I will be going to the silo today as well, to see what we got in there. There is manure, which I imagine we are going to be able to use for some kind of process. As for the cow, we need to make sure that we have space, and I think we have an empty gallon jug. So that was an unintentional whack. I was literally trying to move into the space So when you move in Cataclysm and there's a creature there and you're not already allied with it, you will attack it. Unfortunately, we just kind of whacked the cow over the head. The way that I'm going to see that happening is that Hilma accidentally bashed the cow with the gate when she was walking in. Hilma is a pacifist. She wouldn't just go around whacking cows in the head. So I'm going to cautiously approach this thing here. It disappeared. Okay, here it is. Right, there we go. Okay, so let's see. We're going to hit E. It is a cow on a dirt floor. Okay, so instead we're going to go and activate our cattle fodder. We're going to try and feed the cow. The cow seems to like us. It lets us pat it on the head and it seems friendly. Yeah, we do pat it on the head. Hilma is very apologetic for accidentally bashing the cow. So, there we go. Right, first of all, we need to rename the cow, and we are going to most certainly go for Splotch, as you might have imagined from the splotted patches on it. Splotch, perfect name for a cow. Classic cow name, I'll have you know. And so we are going to go ahead and milk Splotch. And oh boy, it does take a little while, but we have fresh hot milk. We're going to go ahead and pour that into a container, into our gallon jug. Fantastic. 40 units of milk after that. We are getting chilly because, yeah, we aren't wearing our stuff on our head, but it's not cold yet, so it's not actually going to be doing damage to us. Splotch, thank you. You are amazing. I think we actually do have other cows here as well. Let's just quickly turn that on. Well, we do have another pig. That's for certain. Okay, just chill out, pig. We've got a horse. We most certainly want to try and do something with you. Yeah, no, I think it's just the one cow. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Okay, Splotch, you could be our savior here. You could be our hero. And there's a boxer to the east. Okay, I don't think we've seen it to the east before. It's usually been down. Alright, that's pulped, so that's not a problem. You are actually a little bit closer there, buddy. Although you're quite damaged, aren't you? Oh... Oh, I don't think we have anything to feed you right now, my friend. We barely have enough to feed ourselves. Look, maybe we can, but I think right now we just don't want to risk getting too close to it without having food that we can give it immediately. Okay, so something else that I want to do while we are here, create a firewood location. Probably good to have it just off towards the side here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift all of our stuff just over into these varying piles. Yeah, because we want to make sure that we keep the rags, everything else like that separate. We only want planks to be here. Right, so we've got a whole heap of planks just off towards the side here. So let's go into our construction menu. We should be able to designate a spot specifically as a firewood location. Okay, there we go. Mark firewood source. And we're going to go ahead and I believe, okay, it did just mark that one there. Okay, fantastic. So while we're here, if we need to put more wood into the campfire, we will. Which is great. This one is still going for a little bit longer. It's kind of just down, although it does say it's very well supplied. So I think it's going to be good at least for a little while longer. Okay, so that is that step done. What I'm thinking now, if we're just chilling in here, we can get by. And that means that we can actually start to butcher this pig. Alternatively, we could spend like the hour and a half. I don't think it's going to rot in that time. I think we focus first of all on our balaclava, getting at least one good balaclava to go. So let's have a look. Looking at balaclava, an hour and 31 minutes for us to be able to do it. We are still slow when it comes to crafting this at the moment, but hey, we can do it. I believe in you. And so we are going to go ahead and put down our quarterstaff as we start to work on this thing here. Right, we're back to being famished, not great, but we have a perfectly good balaclava. And look at that torso, it's healed up so nicely. We're going to go ahead and wear that balaclava, and we're going to feel like $1 million. So much better, so much better. So obviously before we start to work on our porky friend down there, we want to make sure that we actually have something to eat. Now, I think if we turn on our flashlight, we might be able to have access to the fridge. It's whether or not we can see things quite often as to whether or not we can actually use them in recipes. It doesn't look like that's the case. What I might be able to do is get to here, and we might still be in range of the fire. Doesn't look like that's the case. But what we can do is make milk. So we have raw milk at the moment. So this makes me wonder if this is kind of like the pasteurization process. Could very well be. We could just drink raw milk. Oh, 15. We can get more milk. We can get more milk. Okay, well that's very good to know. We could just eat it raw. Let's see if there's a calorie difference here. Calorie difference is effectively the same. It might just be preservation because raw milk will spoil a lot faster. Although in saying that, this food is perishable and at room temperature, shelf life of 1 day. Whereas I imagine for raw milk, it's effectively the same. 12 hours. So I guess it makes it last just a little bit more. Okay, well, I think we're just going to go ahead and drink this. We are already hydrated, so we're probably going to get full on just this because it's going to quench us at the same time. We're turgid. Okay, so once we kind of get to turgid, that's when we want to kind of like hang back a little bit there. I would love to have something else as a snack that isn't barley because I just don't want us to be too upset. At the same time, we're not going to be doing a massive amount of crafting. A headstool bandage, that's okay as well. Alright, well let's head down to the fridge here. So what I want to make sure we do is we get a decent supply of water as well because we need water for a lot of different cooking recipes. Could be worth us trying to do that right now, but we have a limited kind of carrying capacity in terms of what we can get. There's a 3-liter jar that we have though, so we could get a little bit of water with just that. And I think I missed something in the basement. Supposedly, we have a water pump down there, which, yep, makes sense. Let's go do that. I just want to try and see if we can get us close to being, well, good to go. Sheep. Hey, sheep. Be good. Be well. Let's see. Water pump. I do not see a water pump. Unless some of you might have thought the still was a water pump. Yep, so I don't see a water pump down here, so unfortunately, unless it was in the barn, I don't recall seeing a water pump around here anywhere in actual fact. Let's see. Do we have a pump over here? Nope. I see no pump. Yeah, so for us, to get our water, we still need to go up towards the lake. Unless I am just missing something incredibly obvious. Yeah, I think that's the case, and I don't want to do that during the day, so we might just have to kind of grit our teeth and just eat something that we're not going to be so happy with eating. You know what, let's have the dehydrated fruit for now, to start with there. And you know what, we're just going to try and see if we can drink a little bit more of that milk. Our strength ain't great. And I think that's because of us being underweight. Satisfied. Hey, there we go. Okay, oh, what's our food poisoning? Okay, hear me out. We probably should have boiled the milk to turn it from being raw milk. I have drunk raw milk as a New Zealander. In retrospect, probably not the safest health practice ever. But being a New Zealand child, I know it's going to sound weird, but we do have like farm days and we have cows that get brought to school. Again, I know that sounds super, super weird. We milked the cows and just, drank straight from the source. Okay, let me rephrase that. Not straight from the source because that sounds even weirder. Okay, we have food poisoning right now. Oh my God. Now, to everyone that was shouting at me to cook it, okay, cool, we know this now. Hey, Hilma didn't know. She was like, sweet as, milk, great, cool. Okay, let's go for it. So that is something that we are going to have to contend with, and it makes me a little nervous having food poisoning while we are preparing food, because, we don't want to be vomiting as we're butchering. Oh boy, what a fun time we have. Look, I think we're just going to have to go for it. We're just going to have to push through this. Survival is not glamorous, Hilma. No, it is certainly not glamorous. So, if we are going to try and do this, full butchery, 1 hour, we are going to need to have the light for now. We're going to need to have this table here. Okay, so for this one specifically, we do need to have a rope and or a tree to be able to get a full kind of butcher out of this. Right, so going off of that, I don't think we can make any kind of basic rack. Yeah, at this stage, that is outside of our kind of capability. But what we maybe can do is either build a rope or find a rope. We might even be able to get a rope just from disassembling one of these pulleys. Yeah, I think that's what we got to do, and we're gonna have to do it while we're food poisoned. So, Hilma, let's get ready to go. Whoa, go Hilma Baron. We definitely don't have any ropes, do we? Just let's be 100% sure here. No, we do not. Okay, and we're also going to need a long rope, I believe, because it was a rope quality of 2. Yeah, so many different ways for us to be able to make a rope, but I'm hoping we'll be able to either get a few short ropes or, you know, one nice long rope. Okay, so let's go ahead and haul this thing open first of all, just so we can actually leave it open, and we'll see if we can take this apart. Deconstruct furniture. There we go. Oh, yep, we did throw up there. Very hungry yet again. And we have ourselves a long rope just like that. And we got some planks from it too, so we'll go ahead and grab those, and we are going to make our way back into the home, like so. Let's just go and drop those planks there for the time being. Right, we have our rope. Now what we need to have is suspension. So we need to have a pretty much just a big tree to hang this thing up from. That's the question. Which direction do we want to go in here? There really aren't any big trees out this side here. I'm honestly unsure as to what else we can tie it to. Yeah, I mean, the closest trees are down here. Okay, well, if the boxer comes for us, we'll be ready, as ready as we can be. We're going to wield our quarterstaff, we're going to grab this pig, and we're going to make our way outside. Oh boy. We got a steak knife to do the butchery with. Boxer, just leave us be, leave us be. And we're going to go over towards this tree here. Seems like a worthy tree. And let's just make sure light is turned off. We've got the MP3 player blaring in our ears. We are very hungry right now, I am aware of that. But we just need to power through for a little bit here. Full butchery, there we go. There are bats that we can see in the distance, but just like that, we are done, and we are tired after that, Hilma. So, we messed up on the liver, on the kidney, and on the hide, but we got everything else, and most importantly, we got the fat. The fat is going to be just exactly what we need. We want to get the stuff back inside as quickly as possible. So we're going to go and just start to shift things away. We're going to shift over to the side, the things that we don't want. So we want to go ahead and put the refuse away. Everything else is going to be good for us. And we want to make sure that we're trying to use as much of the creature as possible. Let's start hauling. Yeah, even if it's slower, it doesn't matter. We're just going to start to make our way back up towards home. And I know you might imagine that we're just hauling this flesh along the dirt. We kind of are, but we're kind of not. The way that I can see Hilma doing it is just keeping that hide, the one that she ruined, and she's just got all of the meat on that, and we're just kind of dragging it back with what little strength we have. Okay, so with that, we don't want to have it too close to the fire because the cold temperature in here might actually try and keep it for a little bit longer. Hot air. So maybe not. Maybe we actually want to keep this outside. And yeah, part of me is saying just leave it outside, and that's what we're going to do. I know it's not the most realistic thing in the world just to leave it in the sun. We could haul it all the way downstairs, but that's going to be a lot of extra journey for Hilma that we don't need to worry about right this second. So what is the next step for us? What are we going to do? Okay, we're hungry. We aren't like feeling bad anymore. So what we might be able to do is just leave this door open for the time being so that we have access to the meat. The hot air is probably still going to get out there. Yeah, screw it. We're just going to bring it inside for safety's sake. Yeah, we don't want something sneaking up on us when we're trying to cook a whole heap of stuff. So, jumping into food. Okay, so, cooked, fatty meat. That's the pork belly, and as you can see, those calories, fantastic. I think the most important thing for us to do before any of that, though, is to have a look at our meat and see when it is going to spoil. So, we got a week on the fat, we got a day on the meat. Yeah, 8 hours on the stomach. So a lot of the stuff we need to try and preserve. So we can do things like smoking racks. So for us to make a smoking rack, we need to have a digging tool, some rocks. The most important thing though is we need charcoal, and charcoal is a whole nother thing for us to do. So what might be best is if we just try and cook as much as possible. This stuff ain't gonna freeze. It might overnight, it might, but much of it isn't going to last until the night. The main stuff, the fat, that'll keep us going for a long while yet. So yeah, I think before anything else, before cooking the meat, we're just going to go for the fatty meat. And the reason being, if we're going to potentially lose stuff here, this is the thing that I want to lose the least, just because of the amount of calories that we can get from pork belly. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cook up 7 lots of this. It's going to take 1 hour and 26 minutes for us to be able to do it. We're going to put down that quarterstaff, dropping on the ground there. We're getting to work. We are very hungry. We're listening to some sweet, sweet disco, and there it is, smelling delicious. 7 big pieces of cooked pork belly. So let's jump into here. 1,300 calories. Bam. Delicious. So good. The other thing with this though is that it does sate us quite a bit. We're going to have one more. Something hurts, stop eating. Yes. So once we get to our engorged state, that is when we want to stop. Having a look at the cooked meat here, still only going to last a day, which is very, very unfortunate. We're probably not going to be sleeping today. We are more than likely going to be just eating a whole heap of meat. We are very limited in what we are actually able to cook as well. We could spend time trying to cook things like the brains and all the rest, which are very high in vitamins. However, we do have multivitamins for that, so we don't have to worry so much. I think focusing on just trying to cook the meat and all the rest is probably what we want to try and do in this scenario. With the fat, we are going to want to try and make crackling, because that's kind of just how we end up processing it. We do get a byproduct of that as well, as it seems we don't know how to render down to like lard or anything like that. We can render the fat down to tallow. We need water to be able to do that. And it is a little bit later in the day. I would like to do that water trip. I think we got to do it. We also have the milk as well, which we need to get cooked up, and it really doesn't take that long for us to be able to do it. So sure, we'll go ahead, we'll do all the milk for now, and we're going to pour that back into, let's just say, the 3-liter glass for now. There we go. Okay, that's good. We are full again, so we might be able to get away with eating some more of our fatty meat. Force ourselves to eat it. Something hurts, stop eating. Yes. As long as we're engorged, I gotta think that that's the right direction for us to go in, for that to be good. So, with that stuff taken care of from the time being, we are gonna have to just keep on eating throughout the day. The next thing that we need to think about is our head. It is still bandaged, which, hey, that's great, but it isn't really helping us out. What we need to try and see if we can do is make some kind of better bandage for us, or some kind of antiseptic, and with our very little knowledge of the subject, I don't think we're going to be able to do much there at all. I stand corrected. So, we can make boiled makeshift bandages, which is most certainly going to be better than just the straight up. The base quality is average, but it's probably going to be poor, which, I think is better than what you could expect. Antiseptic, ethanol, denatured alcohol. I don't think we had any denatured alcohol, and I don't think I've seen any bleach yet either. Bleach would be great. Honestly, just making boiled makeshift bandages, that sounds like an idea. That's something that we can do. So let's have a look. Makeshift bandage. We want to go ahead and make 6 of these. Boom. Nice and easy for us to do that. Let's just go ahead and put them back into our inventory for now. And I think we got to do that water trip. So we do have the empty gallon jug at this stage. Cool. Let's roll with that. So we are going to be making our way back outside. Our cotton balls are frozen, so I'm tempted to actually drag the rest of this meat outside for the time being, in the hopes that it does actually start to freeze. It's cold, so yeah, once it's actually cold like that, it does last longer. Well, We'll see. We'll see. It has to get quite cold for it to be able to do that, but we're going to wander on out here. Do we know how to make dog food? I'm trying to remember what we can actually try to tame dogs with, if we could just do it with meat. Oh, I mean, the box is just over there, isn't he? We're going to grab some of this meat. Well, first of all, we need to make sure that we actually grab our quarterstaff. There we go. And we will grab some of this meat. Let's see, what do we want to do? Chunks of meat. Let's just grab 3 pieces of that. And I want to see if we can maybe... This is a risk, because this boxer could become aggressive towards us. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Come on. It is kind of... It's retreating. Oh, there's a festering boar around here somewhere. It's to the south. I can see it. It's killed a sheep. Okay. We don't want to get that thing's attention. Yeah, I think this dog is just going to go away. Okay. That's fine, bud. That's fine. Up to the water we go. And here is our pond. We found a stick. Congratulations. We're going to go ahead and pour that into the gallon jug. We're going to pour it pretty much into everything just for now, just so we have an extra amount of water. Pour it into the canteen too. And we're going to start to make our way back home. Oh, we do have another festering boar out here. It's nearly dead. It's nearly dead, and it's already killed a few of the sheep that are up here. There's also a short-tailed cat. You know what? Hilma, pacifist as we are, I don't think we can let that thing just roam around here. Well, I say that, it's now running totally very far to the north. Okay, fine, we'll leave you to it. There is a sheep carcass there, a perfectly good sheep carcass, but here's the thing. I think it's probably better for us to just leave it for now. If we process it, the meat's going to go off, it's going to be no good for no one. There are 2 cats here, which we could maybe become friends with. For now though, we are just going to make our way on over towards here. Pull that pulley. What do we have? So, pair of rubber gloves, some bird food, and a step ladder. How wonderful. And this is usually locked, but we got wheat in there. We got wheat. And you know what? We could climb on top of it, couldn't we? And it would give us more sight of the area. That's most certainly something that we can do. And who knows? Yeah, maybe we could pick that lock eventually. For now though, Hilma, let's just make our way up this thing here. We climb up, and atop the silo we stand. And oh boy, we see a lot. So, what is it we see exactly? We see over towards our west, a rural house here. I'm seeing something very exciting over towards the northwest. We'll get to that in a moment. But oh boy, look at that. A Migo scout tower. The alien invasion is most certainly here, and I think seeing that from a distance just puts that dread into the pit of Hilma's stomach. They are here. They are searching. Are they hunting you? Maybe. But over here, we have a FEMA refugee camp. Well, the question is, did Hilma and her people make it to that camp originally? Honestly, I think they probably did. FEMA camps are a death sentence for a character like Hilma, especially at this stage. There are a lot of dead there. So, that is a... While interesting, that's not something that we want. If anything, I do think Cornwall and Easton stand a better sign of civilization for Hilma. We are most certainly going to be making our way back down there, but after we are better, and who knows, we could check out this unusual barn along the way. For now though, Hilma, let's go get back inside. Oh, yeah, and look at that. With water, we can make a whole heap of different recipes, which is great. However, we don't want to do that right now. Reason being, we've still got so much meat to eat. We don't really need to worry about any of that. Really, all that we are going to want that water for this second is to make these makeshift bandages. Okay, so, right, it does it in groups of 7. Yeah, 6 of 7. Okay, and then we start to run out of bandages. Okay, well, that's going to give us 6 in total. We're going to go and put down the quarterstaff, work on those. Fantastic. Still engorged at this stage, and wonderful hot bandage as it is. We are going to go and apply that here, which is going to take it from very poor to poor, which is a lot better for us. That's a massive difference. Very poor is just the least amount of healing you could ever expect to get from something. That's better, Hilma. That's better. And we've been listening to our MP3 player throughout the day. We're feeling pretty good about that. Now, well, we're engorged, we're hydrated. What else can we craft while we're sitting here? Well, it's going to take an hour and 16 minutes for us to do it, but I think making a wooden spear is going to be something that we're going to want to do. So we are going to take the long pointy that's nearby, and we're going to start to work on that, putting our bandages back into our inventory. And once we go to full, we're going to go ahead and actually, let's wait until we go down from full. So we will keep on crafting for now. Very hungry. Fantastic. We've got our spear as well. Excellent. We're going to pop on down here towards our fatty meat, and we're just going to go ahead and just start to eat until engorged. Stop eating. Yes. Okay, there we go. We don't want to push past that point, but that's certainly going to help us. So we got ourselves a nice spear. I'm actually going to go ahead and put our milk just down here in the fridge because it's just outside of the warmth of the fire, so there's a chance that it might last just a little bit longer. As you can see, many of the things are frozen here, so they're gonna last for longer. It's one of the okay things with starting off in winter. You don't have to worry about food preservation as much, and for that reason, I think that the meat might be okay outside. Let's just check on it and see. It's cold, but it's not frozen yet. Really gotta hope that it gets there before, you know, too long. Well, I'll be damned. I was having a look through to see what else we could make. We can make a pair of snow goggles. So this is just a thin slit that we can see out of, so it does give us quite a bit of encumbrance on our eyes, but it kind of stops the glare at the same time. So I feel like it could be worth us having something like that. It will take us 13 hours to be able to make it, however, though, so yeah, I don't know about that. Honestly, I think trying to focus on potentially getting some form of meat preservation going could be great for us. I would say athletics, but we do not want to be burning calories right now. I mean, really, what we kind of want to be doing is just sitting on the couch, not doing much, but I do still like to spend our time, you know, crafting or, you know, doing something with that time. Well, honestly, I think for now, we are just going to make a digging stick. It'll give us a digging quality of 1, which is all that we need to be able to make a smoking rack. Put that spear down for now, and bam, just like that, we got ourselves a digging stick, which we're just going to put to the side for the time being. We'll pop on down here, we'll eat the last of that meat. Something hurts, stop eating. We're going to ignore it. We're just going to eat through that pain. Okay, we're engorged, and now we are actually, you know, probably going to start to get a little thirsty before too long there. But I'm pretty happy with the progress that we've been able to make so far today. For us to make that rack, we need a fair amount of rocks. We could just walk around until we find rocks like that, or alternatively, we could try and crack some of the boulders that are around here. We don't have great strength, but with a tool like a cudgel, which is a decent bashing weapon, we might be able to crack some stones off. The cudgel is one of the very, very first weapons that you can make. Let's go ahead and make it. Bash 10, it's pretty low when it comes to bash damage, but it's still certainly better than nothing. And we are wielding it at the moment, so I'm thinking we're going to spend some time outside in the night, just trying to crack a rock, hoping that nothing comes close. Oh, we stripped some bark off. Okay, thump. Let's see if we can get lucky. Now, this is a small boulder, which is the kind of weakest of the boulders. There we go. Hilma, well done. And we got a single rock out of that? I just want to be sure. That's a single rock. Oh boy. We might as well just pick those up. Let's go ahead and grab them. Right. I don't imagine we're going to be able to crack the medium boulders, but who knows? We can still try. We can still try. This is a medium boulder, right? Okay. Let's give it a crack. Okay, yeah, we don't seem to be damaging the medium boulder. I'm not surprised here. I'm not surprised. Look, I'm going to try one more just down here. What did we find there? Hard to tell. Oh, nothing. It was just the bark. Oh, we cracked it in 1. Okay, well, that's not too bad. 3 rocks from that. Right, so I think we needed 8 in total. Yeah, so this is not a bad option for us. We just don't want to go wandering too far into the woods. Alright, we gave another small boulder over there. I'm willing to go that far, but I think that's probably as far as I want to go. At the same time, just wandering around here, through these bushes, it is improving our survival skills, so we got that going for us, and our temperature is perfectly fine right now. We are totally happy where we are. We're going to go ahead and take that straw. Yes, please. Did we have something over here? Some tan bark. Yeah, we'll take some back with us. And up here, some more willow bark. Okay, no, we're fine then. And we'll start cracking you. Okay, it took a few more cracks to get that one, and 4 rocks out of that. Okay, that's going to do our volume, so we'll just go and drop the birch bark. Oh, 25 willow bark we're holding on to. Yeah, no, we were picking up quite a lot of stuff. Let's go ahead and grab the rock, and we're just going to make our way back home. Okay, so this smoking rack, I'd like it if we could make it outside, because I feel like it makes sense to be making a smoking rack outside. We don't have enough planks right now. We've been burning up a few planks. Okay, so I tell you what, we are just going to go ahead and what are we going to disassemble now? What are we going to take apart next? Well, I guess we could go for the other bookshelf, or no, let's go for one of the chest of drawers. Deconstruct furniture. There we go. Wonderful. We're going to go ahead and just drag that on over. Lovely. And turn that light off for now if we can get away with it. Let's just, stand in this position here. And a smoking rack. Okay. Let's go ahead and start to place this down out here. The fire went out. Okay. But we have ourselves a smoking rack. And oh boy, look at that. Our head has moved up a point. Our bandages have gone to very poor, which, you know, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and apply another one of our bandages to make it just a poor bandage job. We're healing our head. We are doing it, folks. Okay, so having a look at this here, we do need to put some charcoal in. So for us to make a charcoal kiln and stuff like that here, it's a bit more complicated. However, there is a very rock-intensive way that we can do that too. Actually, there's 2 options here. 4 metal tanks. 60 liters. That's maybe possible. Same thing with the pipes. Maybe a little bit more possible than finding 40 rocks. 40 rocks is okay if you have the method to get those rocks easily. Otherwise, it just takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, which can be better spent elsewhere. We have access to a whole heap of pipes down here because of these. And making the 60-liter tanks are generally pretty easy, but you do need to have some welding gear to be able to make them. The other option for those is finding those tanks on existing things, like vehicles, for example. We might be able to find them on some of the vehicles around, but that means walking and going far away from here for now. Honestly, if I had to think about it, it's probably going to be more effort than we actually need right this second. Before we go to sleep though, and I don't think we're going to sleep right yet, we're probably going to be eating throughout the night, which is not very entertaining, so that's something that I'm more than likely going to do off camera. We do need to get this loaded, so we will start a fire, which I think we will just automatically start taking. Yep, we drop a plank in the wood stove. Can we cook up the meat from outside? Yes, it looks like we can still do that. Okay, so I think we're just going to go and cook the actual meat. As to how much we are going to make there. There's a lot of meat and we can't use all of it. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. We'll go ahead and just make 6 for now, an hour to be able to do that. We are leaving the door open as well, which is not great. We're famished, we're thirsty, we are tired now. We're going to go ahead and eat our fill of all of those. Okay, we're full. That's great. At this point, we are going to go down here, see if that milk is still around, and if it isn't frozen, it's not. We're going to go ahead and drink that because that's going to give us, quench, joy, and in general, we'll be feeling pretty good. Engorged, that's fine. We are going to stop eating. And with that, we have, well, a night ahead of us. I guess we could sleep now, couldn't we? If we do wake up, we wake up. Yeah. Let's go into the room for now. Pull ourselves up in those sheets. Start to sleep. And we're going to set an alarm to wake up in 3 hours because we want to be eating 3 hours later. And just like that, those hours start to pass by. We wake up, famished, our alarm going off, and yeah, we're gonna go straight back to cooking. And all we have to do is just go start a fire. We're good to go. The meat, is it frozen? Oh boy, look at that. Winter doing us a solid. Hell yes. There's a chunk of meat, well, most of the meat there isn't good yet though, so that's fine, that's fine. We'll just go ahead and cook some more of the basic meat. We'll go ahead and make, let's see, we'll go ahead and make 8. Nothing walking through that door, please. There we go, fantastic. That's good. Close that door yet again. Go ahead. Eat as much as we can. Eat until we can't eat anymore. Yes, get engorged. Well, we're not quite there yet. We've got one more piece of meat, but I think we did still have some other milk. No, we don't. Well, that's okay too. We can always go get some more milk tomorrow. Thirst is not a concern of mine. Eat some more. Engorged. Ignore. Okay. Back to sleep then for another 3 hours. Yup. See if we can make it through the night like this. It's not a pleasant way to do it, that's for sure. Okay, we wake up, we're famished, we're thirsty, and I think for this portion, we're actually going to go back down into the basement. It's 8:30 in the morning. That boxer is still hanging around, huh? Maybe we can become friends with you eventually. Slowly but surely. For now though, let's go have some of our favorite drink here. Just go get completely filled on beer. There we go, lovely. We're slaked, we're feeling pretty good. We are still hungry, so we'll pop back inside for a moment. I'd love to cook up some more of that meat. So let's just maybe just take some of the... it's frozen as well. So good, I'm so happy about that. I want to take 8 pieces of that. We're gonna go and start a fire. Oh, nothing to light here. Are we out of planks? We are indeed out of planks. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna need another, unless we put the planks here. Wooden panel. Did I move the planks over? Surely I did. No, we didn't. Okay, so yeah, I guess we will actually go ahead and deconstruct this. Deconstruct that furniture. Bam, done. And we do have some things in there that we should probably be keeping, so we're just going to leave them on the ground for now, or alternatively we could haul them over with us so that we're taking everything, haul them to that position there, and then just separate the planks. 6 planks, fantastic, that's good. And as for how we're starting the fires, we do have some lighters, and those lighters are going to be good for a very, very long time. We don't need to worry about making a fire drill or anything like that yet. We were going for the matchbooks quite quickly, but the lighters are going to see us through all of that. Right, our bandaged head is not looking as good anymore, so we want to go and use our other bandage there. Boom. That's a little bit better, fantastic, and we are going to get back to cooking, and we're going to cook up all of the meat that we have there. So back to cooked meat, 8, fantastic, go ahead and make all of that, and yeah, I guess we kind of slept through the night. We're on the 5th day now. We're going to go and just eat as much of that as humanly possible until we are fully engorged. Yes, we're in pain, stop eating, sure, we'll leave it at that. And so, that's where we're actually going to leave our episode today. We are looking so much better. And I know this has been a strange kind of survival. Everything else is good on us. Our torso, our arms, our legs, everything has recovered there. Our head is still no good. But we are on our way back to health. We are underfed, which is a lot better than being emaciated. We are just going to have to continue to eat a fair amount to be able to get back up. If the next episode is like that, I'm probably going to try and speed through it just because, well, we've been relatively safe here, all things considered. And this isn't a bad spot for Hilma. But we need to know for sure, don't we? We are going to make that journey south. We are going to visit the unusual stone barn. We are going to make our way to Cornwall and to this radio tower specifically, in the search of civilization. And if we can make it here, if we can make it to the radio tower, then I think we've done it. I think finishing our story with Hilma will probably end up back here, back on the ranch. I would love to have that horse tamed before we leave here so that we can ride out on it. Hilma is a pacifist after all. We don't want to be engaging enemies where we can avoid it. How long an existence like that can last? Well, I suppose we'll see. You're still alive for now, aren't you, Hilma? And you're doing just fine. Well, Legionnaires, that's been our episode today with one little raw milk mix-up. But hey, when you're desperate, you do what needs to be done. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned. And finally, I'd like to thank the Legion on Patreon who continue to make content like this possible.